So today I'm going to be drawing my life. A lot of people requested this video for 1 million subscribers, and I thought, you know what, I'd do it. I didn't think it would be that hard. I watched a lot of other YouTubers do it, and it looked pretty easy, but it turns out I suck at drawing. I suck at making these type of videos. I want to learn to get better, but, you know, this is the best I could do for now. Didn't turn out that long either, but anyways, let's get started. I really hope you guys do enjoy nonetheless. My name is Nordan Shat, and yes, Shat is the past tense of shit. So yep, I'm a pile of poop, and unfortunately that is my real last name. I was born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is a pretty big city, May 29th, 1996, as you guys probably do know Toronto. I grew up in a pretty happy family with my mother and my father and my sister, and how many hairs should I give her? 3? I'll give her 4. 4 works. I had my sister, myself. When I actually grew up, when I was a little kid, I was a very fat kid. I looked like a little potato. So I was, you know, very fat growing up, but I lost that weight after like 5 years. And growing up, you know, I was always like the class clown. I loved making people at my school laugh, my friends. As long as they were smiling, I loved making people smile and everything, but that caused me to get in trouble with my teachers a lot. I got a lot of phone calls home, always in the principal's office, but surprisingly enough, I actually was a straight A student for the longest time. Now, I specifically remember my marks dropping, not because of video games or anything like that, but because my parents started arguing. I found myself being very depressed over that. I remember sitting there watching them argue, and it always, like, I don't know why it bothered me so much. And me and my sister were both really upset about this, but, you know, at least we had each other. And, you know, my marks actually did start slipping. I was going from a straight A student to getting B's and C's and D's, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. And for like a 7-year-old, no 7-year-old should feel like that. So I just drowned myself on my PlayStation 2. And during these times, me and my sister just stuck by my mom's side. We didn't really talk to our dad as much. We almost didn't even know anything about him at that point. We stopped talking to him and everything. And then one day I came home from school, and he was actually nowhere to be found. He just straight up dipped. He left. And I felt alone. I was very upset. Even though I was, you know, staying distant from him, I was upset. And then me, my mom, and my sister, after some time, we found a way to be happy, just us 3 without him. And then very shortly after, we connected with my stepdad. And I told this story in another video, but we went to KFC, me and my sister, and I was very upset, so I didn't eat. And then my mom asked her boss, who turned out to be my stepdad now, if he could take me to KFC. And, you know, he took me to KFC, and that's the first time I ever met him. And then after that, me and him totally connected. He was super nice. And he was honestly like just like a super dad. Like, he was just amazing. Like, he took, you know, he raised me from, you know, a little kid, and it was amazing. I was having a great life at the time. I was very happy with everything, and just everything was going great. And then my life just flipped upside down. Everything just started going wrong for me. I just started being more depressed, more upset, more everything. And I also got into a breakup with my girlfriend that I was dating for 3 years, and that was my first ever heartbreak. I was just completely upset with life, not even just her, with life, and that caused me to make a really stupid decision. I didn't know what to do with my life, and I was just completely depressed and upset, so I tried to take my own life. I tried the overdose on Advil, and that did not go so well. I was at the hospital for about a week after that, and it just turned out to be very bad. So then I had to meet with a therapist. I ended up talking to her for about 3 to 4 years, and it was actually one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. Her name was Mary. She was one of the nicest people ever, and she actually helped me with my life. It was one of the greatest things ever, and I actually ended up being very happy because of it. She told me to start doing one of my hobbies more and more, and I was actually watching YouTube. I know you guys are probably going to think that that's when I started doing YouTube. That's when I started watching YouTube, and it took me a couple of years after watching YouTube to actually start pursuing making videos. And, you know, it worked out really well for me. I started with 1 subscriber, that turned into 2, and it's kept multiplying and multiplying, and now we're at 1 million subscribers, all thanks to you guys. And what I really want to do with my YouTube channel is just to spread a positive message, because you know what, I went through a lot of stuff, and I really want to help as many people as I can. I know I can do that, and sometimes you're going to be sad, and sometimes you're not really know what to do, and then you're going to be happy. And you know, that's okay. Your moods are going to switch a lot, especially when you're growing up, but always remember at the end of that dark tunnel, there is a light, and things always do get better, so always keep your head up. Don't ever look down at life. You know, it always gets better. So thank you guys so much for everything. It has been awesome, you know, just making videos, and it's really is a pleasure to entertain all of you guys. You know, that's exactly what I want to do with everything. And I understand that this video wasn't as perfect or as amazing. Actually, it was probably really crappy compared to everybody else's. You know, they're very artistic. They use tablets. I actually used a shitty whiteboard behind me, and it was so hard to like do everything. So I don't want to make excuses. I just want to thank you guys so much for everything. And, you know, if you guys did enjoy, that's awesome. Hope you guys do enjoy and leave a like and all that jazz. But if not, you know, that's cool too. But thank you guys for everything, and I really did leave out most of my life. This isn't my entire life, obviously. I didn't fit, you know, 18 years of life into 3 minutes. That obviously doesn't make sense, but I tried to keep in the crucial points because that's all I could really draw, and even that, I couldn't even draw it that well. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself when it comes to this video, and I really wish I could put together a better video. I could definitely have made a better video if I just, you know, set it versus draw it, because that just it put a big limit on me. It was really hard. But anyways, you know, like I said, I don't want to give you guys excuses or anything. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for 1 million subscribers again. I'm sorry if this, you know, wasn't up to your expectations. I really am. So it's been your boy Nordan Shat, or FaZe. I want you guys to keep it real. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a great day. Keep it real.